In this lecture, you are going to learn how to reduce the bounce rate and how to increase the time spent on your site by the visitors coming from Google search engine or of course any search engine that is simply the organic traffic. In this lecture, you are going to learn a series of things which will prevent your user from moving out of your site once they come inside. That is all about bounce rate, right? So let's start with the featured images. The first recommendation that I am giving you is to create eye-catchy thumbnails as featured images for the posts in your website. To create eye-catching thumbnails, use canva.com. You can create an account or connect with your social networking accounts, and then you can start designing featured images or thumbnails for the post that you create in your website. There are several presets available in canva.com, like the one I am drawing here, and you can create these eye-catchy thumbnails in just 2 to 3 minutes. These kind of high quality and polished thumbnails will induce the user to make a click and see what is there inside the post. So let's move on to the next recommendation. We have already seen in the video integration lecture the YouTube Embed plugin. By using this plugin, add related videos to your website so that when the user is viewing the video, he will spend more time on your website automatically. So I recommend you to add related videos for every possible post. The next recommendation is to avoid pop-up or interstitial ads. When a user enters into your website and if you push these pop-up or interstitial ads into the face of the visitor, then there is no surprise that you will get 80 to 90% bounce rate. So just avoid using this. The next is subscription box. Most of the bloggers used to push this subscription box into the face of the visitor when they enter into the blog from the search engines. Before even knowing what is the content that is available in your website, how can a new visitor will subscribe to your website? So use the recent developments in subscription box plugins and display to the users when they exit out of your website. Offer them something free, which instead of increasing your bounce rate will reduce the bounce rate and keep the user within your website. Here is one of the nice example. When the user moves his cursor to the exit button of the tab or the browser, this pop-up will appear and it will say or offer something free by saying before you go or before you exit out of this website. This is a nice and catchy pop-up subscription box. The next thing is page speed. According to a latest research, 80% of the users in Europe abandon a website if it doesn't load within 2 seconds. So make sure that your website has a top page loading time. If you haven't optimized your website for the best page speed score or the lowest page loading time, then look back into the page speed section where you can attain as low as 0.4 second page load time and 96 page speed score. Coming to the next recommendation, related posts. Sometimes you may have to write a short post of 250 to 300 words, and once the visitor has completed reading the article, he may go back to the search result to research more on the topic. Instead of allowing the visitor to go back, you may display some related posts on that topic so that you can keep the visitor within your website. To insert this related post into your content, you need to install Uzo Related Posts plugin. Go to Add Plugins page and search for Uzo Related Posts. You will get this plugin and you can configure the related posts in all of these styles possible. First of all, you can give the heading as related post or some other inducing headline to induce the user to click on these related posts. You can choose the number of related posts to display. You can even add a default featured image for the posts which don't have any image. Then I recommend you to switch on this target link. What this makes is Whenever a user click on the related post, it will open in a new tab. So even if the user closes that next tab, your first tab will be in open condition, which will increase the time on site. So automatically your bounce rate will reduce. Then come to styling, and you can choose any of these styles. Choose the thumbnail size as medium instead of thumbnail because it will display a prominent size of the featured image. You can also choose the animation effect. I have chosen Sign. You can see this animation in action. Whenever I mouse over these related posts, you can see the animation in action. So just play with the settings of this user related post and configure it by yourself. The next thing is enabling breadcrumbs to enable easy navigation for the users. Go to SEO and then click Advanced in the side panel, then click Enable Breadcrumbs and select Bold the last page in the breadcrumb. By default, some themes may come with breadcrumbs, and in such cases, you don't need to do this. But if your theme doesn't come with the breadcrumbs, then you can enable this and click Save Changes. The last recommendation is to install a plugin which makes every external links in your website to load in a new window. For example, when you have given an outbound link in your post, that is a link to external websites, and if a visitor click on that link, then the external website will load in a new window. So your website's post will be kept opened even if the user has moved to the external website. In this way, you can increase the time on site and reduce the bounce rate. Employ all these tips inside your website and try to get a bounce rate lower than 50%, which will improve your search engine ranking dramatically. In the next lecture, you will learn how to add Google Analytics code to your website.